Hi babies, quick thought, quick note. I don't even want to say it's a channel message or a reading because it's neither. When talking about, because I really want to start talking about the twin flame journey without having to mention all the, as it like a respected topic, and not having to mention, like, if you're in an abusive relationship and you're trying to justify by saying, oh my god, he's my twin flame, or oh my god, she's my twin flame, without trying to justify your abuse through spiritual bypassing and psychosis, talking about the reality of the twin flame journey, right? When we talk about the truth of it, it's not a journey between two people. It's a journey between you and you through another person that has accepted, right? Like, you both accepted a path, you know, however you want to do, like soul contract, whatever, to be able to see like a piece of yourself, something so clearly, the same way that, like, you know, like I saw E. Kane go like, you know, like with her tongue once, and I was like, oh my god, I love that, please let me do that, right? We take pieces or we copy pieces of people, experiences, actions, tone. Like, some people will sound like certain people, and you know, we see this a lot with like culture vultures, right? Like, that's the negative aspect of it. But like, imitation is the biggest form of flattery, right? So think about it on a soul level. You were able to say, hey, here is, I agree to meet up with you, right? And to be able to be triggered in all the ways that I can't, or I don't, or I won't show up for myself, so that I can then become the person that I'm meant to be, particularly because I'm meant to do something that is impactful, that holds weight. And I'm thinking about it. I was doing, you know, I was cleaning my house 5 o'clock in the morning, and I play like meditation music while I do that. And it kind of shuffles through whatever. It's not really like a set. I just kind of pick something and then it goes through what I was going through. And it went to Twin Flame reunion music. And I was like, okay. Because at one point in my life, I would seek this out. But then when I saw it, the immediate reaction was like, you know, which, to think that that was at one point, that this would be my reaction was, you know, it was like a crazy thought for me, but that's the reality of it. So now I'm doing myself a reading, right? And like a tarot reading, and something very specific came in mind. Understanding again that this journey is a reunion of self through the lens of another human being, where imitation is the key to like awareness and growth. I really don't like this is just anyhow, it's gonna be changed soon. Tune in. No, but the union with self for a feminine is the balance between her empress energy and her high priestess energy. The union within self for the masculine energy is the emperor with the hierophant. And if you don't know like tarot at all, these energies speak on, for the masculine energy, the Hierophant speaks on stoicism, it speaks on tradition, it speaks on longevity, it speaks on like inheritance, things that you can pass down, it speaks on intelligence, it speaks on knowledge. The Emperor, right, speaks on provision, speaks on assurance, like self-assurance. It also speaks on, you know, unshakable or unmovable identity. Think of Mulan, where the guy was, you know, the emperor was saying, you know, no matter how hard the wind blows, the mountain cannot bow to it. Like, this idea of like, even in the face of death, you are in an unshakable sense of power within yourself, right? Where it's like, if I have to go, like I have to go, but I'm not gonna bow to something that I don't agree with or that I don't align with, or, you know, things of that nature. So, you know, the embodiments of these energies is like a masculine energy, again, not gender specific, but a masculine energy, not giving into things like money and not being sold out, or you know, falling into lust or greed or gluttony, or, you know, things of that nature, and understanding, especially if there's any ethnic kind of things. I'm thinking of the song, I guess maybe channel message, I guess, take it as it resonates, Kanye West, or Ye, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But he has a song, I think it's called New Slaves, where he talks about that there is like all these gold chains and stuff is still a form of oppression, because it's like, we want to keep this from you, but then we want to covet something from you, but then when you have it, we want to make it so that it's desirable to you enough that you aim to achieve it, but it's not really for you. We want you to achieve it for us because it profits us. And like, you wearing Balenciaga or Louis Vuitton means nothing about you, you know? So like, if somebody without a certain culture was to wear these things, then it would be like, oh wow, she's wearing da 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 da, or they're wearing da 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 da. But if somebody of specific culture was wearing that, then it would be like, well, we got their money, you know what I'm saying? So thinking about that, and like not falling into I'm thinking of like ethical spending, but like following a path that is provision, like setting up places, and you know, if it is finance related, setting up you know, storefronts and things of that nature that benefit the community, that benefit you know, the culture, if that's what it is. But in that sense, it's like, that's what the Hierophant and the Emperor are, is like somebody that is able to move in that assurance. Really, it's like, assurance is all it is, but like, it's in this assurance of like, I have the provisions, and if not, I know how to make the provisions. I know how to keep myself and those around me safe by aligning us and taking the right strategic stoic movements towards what is and what is not meant to be around us. And then the you know, the feminine energy is the Empress and the High Priestess. So the Empress is somebody that is talking about like fertility, and it doesn't always have to be children, but like talking about fertility and the ability to birth things, ideas, the ability to kind of cultivate things. So being able to, you know, how people are talk about like meditation, and meditation, they're like, be happy with it, with what you have, and show gratitude for what you have. That's feminine energy. That's a cultivation of feminine energy, where you say, okay, this is what I have, this is how I can cultivate it, this is how I can put it here, and move this and this and this and that, to be able to maximize my space to live the life that I want to live. Or you know, people that do like biohacking, and a lot of like ancient Chinese medicine is feminine rooted, because it's saying like, this is what I have access to, this is how I can make it benefit my life. In a way of, it also is understanding. So you know, the feminine energy, especially the Empress, when talking about that, is being able to see things for what they are, and not you know, what you say they are. So like, again, I think ancient Chinese medicine is a great example of this, of being able to say, if I have a hot breakfast that is you know, of this capacity, or of this texture, or of this nutritional value, then I will be able to, like, I know who I am, I understand who I am, but then also understanding like things like movement, and like feng shui, and all these different things, you know, understanding the flow and the fluidity of life, really anything that has to do with fluidity, anything that has to do with emotional, like emotions in general, because emotions are fluid in nature, is feminine. And it's really funny, because in both of these cards, like, I see like the hair, right? Like the connection to crown is wavy. It's like fluid, right? So it's just kind of reminding you that all the things that you know, all the things that come to and from your head are fluid, right? Knowledge, emotion, fear, anything that comes along these lines. But then the high priestess is also something that talks about like intuition, the mystic, right? But also in connection to the Empress, right? In a way that that also understands, again, it's the same thing. So it's like intuition in a way that cultivates, intuition in a way that allows fluidity, intuition in a way that, does certain things. So that's kind of where that is. So like when you're able to be in a union energy with your divine feminine, right? With the divine feminine union is between the Empress and the high priestess. The divine masculine union is between the emperor and the hierophant, right? So it's not like Empress and Emperor, it's Empress and High Priestess and Emperor and Hierophant. And then to the very few people that experience the twin flame journey, I think it's like, if you were to quantify it, it's like 3% of people that go through the twin flame journey actually end up in union, right? So, and I say union as in like physical. This is what people think the twin, I'm sorry, I have to readjust myself. This is what people think the twin flame journey is like this, oh my god, like this is the love of my life, and they're like the other half of my soul. And it's like, they're not the other half of your soul. You are a whole soul. Like, you are not split. That was a big misconception that I had to get through as well. So it's like, you are not a half of yourself and they are the other half. They are simply, it's like imitation is flattery. You literally said, I love you so much that I will choose to experience a life that is similar to yours, right? So a lot of twin flame journeys experience the same types of traumas and abuses as children, the same types of, if there's any like bullying, or like if you're ostracized at any point, the black sheep, with family or friends or society, then you become, you both say, I love you so much, I will go through this with you. But it's also something that's like mutual, right? So it's like, I will experience your pains and you will experience mine. So it's something that's like very mutual. So like there's certain traumas and things of that nature that when you're going through the twin flame journey, that's where like the ego rises up, because it's like there are times where, again, it's an agreement. It's not two, it's not one soul split in two. It's two souls agreeing to intertwine. So it's like, if you have, for example, if you have, if you're going to like, I guess, write your soul contract, if we're going to be talking about this, and you're saying, okay, I know that I will experience racism, right? And the twin flame is somebody that will not. Then you say, okay, so like, I will experience this, and you will agree to be able to work through that with me, but not with me as in like with me. I mean, like, I will bleed racism into you, and you will heal that through you, for me, and through that I will heal. Does that make sense? And then the other thing is like, if another thing is like, a lot of divine feminines have experienced like a sexual assault, right? So it's like, if it's that, then that bleeds through, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you choose to accept each other's struggles, and then as you kind of heal both, right? So like, there's struggles that like when the ego rises up, it's like, well, why do I have to experience this? This is your struggle. But that's the thing, is like, that's what you agreed to. So that's why it's really important to be like, okay, so like, it's not, excuse me, but that, sorry, that's why like when you allow things to really become clear in the twin flame journey, it's not like ego or anything like that. It's like, wow, like, I really agreed to be able to experience this for you, with you, and by you. And it's not really about, like, we're gonna be in love forever and ever and ever. It's really about, like, you loved me so much before you even knew me, to be able to say, like, I will go through this for you. And it's an honor. Honestly, it's an honor. But again, with that, then you become into union with yourself, and then should you be one of those I guess if you call it lucky, I think a lot of people that come into union with themselves, they just have like a very stoic kind of understanding of like, you want to know what? At the end of the day, like, I love you and I always will. Like, there's a very deep soul resonance there, but I don't have to be with you forever and ever and ever. And we don't have to have marriage and whatever it is. And for some people, it is that. And for most people, it's not. And when you get to that point, like I said, like, I never would have thought I would get to a point where I was like, reunion, okay, you know, where I saw something like that come up and I wasn't, you know, oh my God, like, yes, reunion, you know, because I used to want that, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that I that I don't, but it's like now it's not something that I'm living for. Does that make sense? Like I'm living for other things, for myself, for family, for the things that cultivate my inner union, right? But within that, I think it's really interesting, and I think it's really important to understand the reality of, one, what this journey is, two, what union looks like, and three, what it like might mean for you, because there's a really beautiful sense of belonging when we allow ourselves to say, you know, like, maybe it's not about being loved or coming into connection with someone that is just the other half of my soul. No, because that inherently tells you that you're broken. No, that's not what it's about. It's not what it is. I hate when I used to say that all the time, and it's very hypocritical of me, but we live and we learn. But yeah, I would like to start talking more about the twin flame journey outside of like, twin flame, your twin flame's coming back, because it's just so stupid how we try to monetize off such a beautiful and like powerful journey. But anyhow, bye.